how as an empath, it's our mission and role to witness. And I released a video on that just a few weeks ago, if you can recall, that we are here to peer into the truth within other people's hearts. And I was doing that from the moment I was born on the planet, and I do that every day. And accepting that this is part of our function gives us a lot of compassion for ourselves. Now, one of the things I really feel inspired to talk about on top of that is this idea that we only ever behold the truth of ourselves in the hearts of others. Now, this is liberating. And if you are a self-healing junkie like me and you really want to embody your truth as much as you can on the earth, and you've accepted yourself as an empath and you really want to be able to align more fully with that purpose, then this conversation is going to be for you. So big welcomes to everyone that's here. I don't know if I can see messages, so if you want to please send me a message just so I can check, because I would love to take any questions, and I need to know your permission to do heart readings for later. So if you can just send me a message to those who are watching this live right now. Now, what do I mean about beholding our truth in the hearts of others? Aren't we witnessing the pain and suffering of others? Yes, we are, but the irony is that we are only ever capable of seeing something that first resided within ourselves. It may not be current, although any pain, suffering, displeasure, emotion that exists in someone else actually had its genesis within us. And there are many wounded empaths that are witnessing and feeling the suffering of others, completely disassociated and detached from the reality that it is also their suffering. Now, why is this important to recognize that it's our truth being reflected back to us? Because we only have power to heal our own hearts. A lot of the traps that I see empaths falling into are relationship dependencies, where we try to help and heal others, or erratic behaviors where we're driven and compelled to make a difference for a minority or a particular group or a particular type of people with a certain degree of suffering. Now, all philanthropic, loving, generous help towards others is valuable, but if we're doing it to save ourselves from a detached, disassociated space, we will render ourselves powerless. And so I'm really, really excited to talk into this. Really nice, Natalie, to be able to know that you're here joining us. Welcome in, beautiful one. Have you realized this? For those who are already here on the live, have you realized that when you are perceiving the truth in someone else's heart, it's only ever a reflection of yours? I would love to see if you have already embraced this concept. Because if we run around trying to help and heal everybody else, what actually happens is that we burn out, we give away our power, and we actually forfeit our privileged ability to heal our own heart. So I'm a big believer. 9 years I've been in service witnessing now. I came out first as a life coach. 4 years ago I came out as an emotional healer, as a heart healer. And hundreds, thousands of people that I've witnessed, I have to be able to claim that reflection as my own. And as I heal and transmute within my own heart, I create a healing presence that reminds everybody near me that they too hold the same power to be able to heal their own hearts. So the truly most effective way for us to actually create healing ripples and powerful change in the world is by first claiming our power to heal our own hearts. So this is why my first book is called Heart Healing, The 13 Principles of Emotional Self-Healing. And my second book is Divine Purpose, The 13 Principles of Ascension, because I see us as powerful leaders on the earth. We're empaths, so we're here to witness. We know what's actually going on. We're the ones that actually have the truth and the ability to perceive what's really happening within everyone's inner world, as well as what's happening around them and what they're verbalizing. If you're like me, you've noticed that people verbalize only a small degree, if any, of what is their true, organic, internal, emotional experience. So I hope that I can lovingly encourage anyone watching this replay or here on the live now that as an empath, our power lies in healing our own hearts. So when we perceive the suffering or the emotion or the pain in someone else's heart, it's so powerful for us to be able to claim that reflection, witness and recognize that that pain first emanated from within us and heal our own heart. So the first thing that I was led to heal was my pattern of breakups, my own anxiety attacks, and my binge eating disorder. So I struggled for 17 years with many forms of eating disorders, first with overeating, and then with underfeeding, and then with anxiety-induced binge eating. That took me 4 years to be able to heal my binge eating pattern. So what I love knowing is that we have the power to bring the truth and a vibration of how we need to live in order to heal our own hearts. I bet you're already doing this. So let's dive in and let's do some live heart readings. Why I like doing these is I really love to be able to use my gifts to serve others. I also like to be an ambassador and a representative of empath potential, that I first was only capable of witnessing the pain and suffering in others. And as I healed my own heart, this has been a 12-year journey now, I deepened my perception to be able to also perceive the spiritual gifts in others, the soul purpose, the soul magnificence of others. And this is what I now use my gift for, is to reflect back the sacred elements of who others truly are. But this was very hard one. And this was hours, thousands and thousands of hours of self-healing, both seeking out other professional guidance and healers to serve and support me, and also delivering thousands of sessions myself to other people. So I come to you with an open heart and deep gratitude to be able to serve and support those who would like to experience a heart reading with me today. So what I'm here to do is to simply perceive your truth. So with your permission, I'll feel into your inner world and merely relay any spiritual gifts that are seeking confirmation within you right now, and reflect sacred aspects or attributes of the truth of who you were as a little child, who you will still be as a mature, grown, elderly, grey-haired soul, and the truth of who you have always and will always be. I love doing this because after years of serving people to heal many, many different things, I know that the path to true healing is embodying our soul truth. So as we step into who we truly are, my binge eating, my pattern of breakups fell away. It just took me many years to come off my dependency with my shadow tendencies and actually find the safety and comfort to sit in my own truth and allow that to be perceived by others. Who knows what I'm talking about? Hey, we've got to trade. We've got to trade up. We're going to trade up our shadow patterns for sitting in our light. And that has been very scary. And that is one of the reasons why I'm here. And I want to start doing weekly live heart readings so that other people really can have the privileged opportunity of being witnessed, because I know that many of you are witnessing on a daily basis. So all you need to do is comment yes please, and that means that you are ready and willing to have me feel into your heart. Some people feel tingles, some people just feel loved, some people feel me around them, and what I do is I close my eyes and I feel into my heart and into my tummy, and I just witness your soul. So I would love to be able to serve you. I hope I'm saying Desiree or Desire. Airy. What is it? I wonder which one it is. I'm feeling it's Desiree. Just say yes if I've gotten your name. Okay, beautiful. That's how I felt. Okay, wonderful. So what I'm going to do for you, beautiful one, is just confirm some of the sacred elements of who you are. But first, I always like to relay some of your spiritual gifts. So yes, you're highly perceptive. You've got a really amazingly opened third eye. So you're very, very clear on reading other people, and you are absolutely an empath. You're also claircognizant. So that means that your crown chakra is really nice and open. You've got a beautiful connection with who you believe are in the heavens. You know that there are benevolent, loving guides up there for you, and you allow yourself to be led by them. So really, really beautiful that you have that, sweetheart. Oh, so lovely that you have that. So they're two of your gifts that I feel to really confirm for you, beautiful one. And let's talk about the truth of who you are on a soul level. So absolutely tender, deeply caring. You find it a lot easier to be affectionate towards cats. Animals are beautiful friends of you because they're so easy to receive your love. You really love giving what I call tender devotion. You're not a very wordy person. You're not a big talker like me. Obviously, I'm a big talker. You're someone who has that beautiful presence of care and compassion and love that animals just... Do you find that animals just adore you? That's your care and your tenderness. Let's look into two other aspects of the truth of who you are and what you're really here to do on the earth. I believe that being who we really are is our sole purpose and is our divine call to bring the essence of who we are to everything we do, our relationships, our parenting, our work, our community. So you've got deep, caring devotion. Okay, lovely. So you're also a walking, talking transmuter. So an energy harmonizer. You have a beautiful ability to bring a presence of love to transmute any stale or stagnant energies and get them flowing beautifully. So if you ever notice that people invite you along to things to ensure that it all goes smoothly, that's one of your roles and your functions. You do this everywhere. You really do help to lighten the atmosphere and help it to flow more smooth. Wonderful. Let's feel into the third element and see what that is for you, beautiful Desiree. Okay, beautiful. And so I'm glad that I already referenced for you that amazing third eye that you have, because your perception is very, very, so you're highly sensitive as well. So you're perceptive of energy and people and places. And this third aspect is just the care and the attention that you have to individuals that just need loving attention. Once again, you're not a big talker. You may just bring your awareness to them and notice that the energy transmutes and changes around them. Or you might notice that you feel to go over and just sit with them, or you notice that you touch them on the soul. You're very gentle. You're very non-invasive. I'm laughing because I'm a little bit more invasive than what you are, but it's beautiful. And so you can really feel that these three elements of the truth of who you are things you never stop doing. There's such a big illusion and a lie that our purpose is, you are. That's so nice that it has resonated for you, beautiful one, that you are quiet and you love to listen. You're not that big of a talker, but that can't be underestimated, that quality of your presence. So you can notice how those three things are things that you do everywhere that you are. And that's really, really powerful to be able to understand that our purpose is in our being. And so it shouldn't ever really stop. We do it while we're asleep, we do it while we're awake, we do it when we're by ourselves, and we do it when we're with others. If you want, what I can do, Desiree, as a mentor, a lot of why people end up hiring me is that they want some guidance on how to step deeper into who they are, or allow themselves to embrace one of these aspects more fully. Would you like me to tune into the guidance for that for you as well, beautiful one, before I move on to the next one? What I commonly find is that when I do these heart readings, that there is always one part, at least, of our soul purpose, one of those three sacred elements of who we are, that is problematic, difficult, and it's still a little bit in shadow. And as we can bring loving awareness to what component of our purpose is in shadow, and actually get some healing guidance, get some direction on what we can do to actually bring that into the light, that you find that there's a new ease and grace that moves through our life. You already have plenty of that. So if this is all that you need, beautiful Desiree, then I'm happy to finish here. So lovely to be able to be doing live readings. I've wanted to do this on my channel for such a long time, so thank you for those who are present here today. It's so nice to commune and connect with you. Are there any questions coming up from what I was sharing previously on beholding your truth within the heart of another? Does that make sense to you? Is that something that you've already been doing? You're so welcome, beautiful. Really proud of you for embodying your sacred soul purpose so wonderfully. And Natalie, I'd love to give a reading for you now, beautiful one. So let me just put them back down again. Okay, so beautiful Natalie, we want to tune into any spiritual gifts that are seeking confirmation today and the 3 elements of your soul purpose. So let's feel in. Thank you for giving me permission. It's such a privilege to be able to feel in and witness and recognize the soul gifts of others. Okay, beautiful. So it's nice because there's similarities with the last reading. You are my tribe, you're like me, but there's some differences as well. So yes, you're an empath, I know you know that, but you're quite intuitive. So you are what I call a clan sentient, and that's the same as me. We have that wisdom in our tummies. And for you, you have based a lot of your key life decisions on that prompt within your lower tummy, just under your navel. And that is where your wisdom resides, and that is where you get premonitions, and where you get those hits and knowings. More of a feeling than anything else for you. Clan sentients just have a knowing that surfaces as a feeling. Tricky challenge with being an empath that's a clan sentient is that we can't actually perceive our guidance until we're actually able to emotionally release what we're feeling. So our solar plexus, or our tummy, is the area where we feel and experience our emotions, but it's also the same place where we experience our sacred guidance. So for you, beautiful Natalie, you're a clan sentient that receives your intuitive guidance through your tummy. And so if you're not emotionally clear, you can't actually access your sacred guidance. Is this resonating so far, beautiful one? Just want to make sure that you feel safe and that you're happy with how the reading's progressing for you, beautiful one. So what I want to do now is just read into the 3 sacred elements of the truth of who you are, or in other words, your soul purpose, your divine purpose, and reflect them back to you. Okay, great. So beautiful. Welcome, somebody new has joined the live. Nice to have you here. I'm really happy that that's resonated so far. What I find is that my new tour is confirming the gifts and the purpose within other people. Very, very important that we have both, because there's a strong interplay between our gifts and what we're doing with them. So one of the things that you're here to do, and you do all the time, is you bring people together. And the imagery that I get, I'm a little bit clairvoyant, and it helps me to confirm the feelings from my clan sentient knowing in my tummy, is that you're like that mother that brings a whole bunch of people together. So if you've noticed that incredibly loving maternal instinct that you have to perceive the needs within others and then gather them together, one of the roles that you want to do is you want to form groups and form collectives and form unions where people with similar challenges can gather together, where it's kind of more easy and efficient for you to love and care for kind of more people at once than it is to go one by one. You're a bit of an efficiency hack. You can see a big difference here between Desiree and yourself, Natalie, is that Desiree's happy going one by one, not really saying much and just using her presence, whereas you're more active. You're a beautiful verbalizer, and emotionally you're wrapping people around. So well done for owning and acknowledging that. It's not easy to be in life wanting to wrap up a whole group of people. It's not easy to actually do. I love doing that as well. Many of you know that my Heart Leaders Tribe is a secret Facebook group that I have, and I think there's 420 people in there now, so I love gathering people as well. So snap, babe. Let's look at the second element. Okay, beautiful. So the theme here is that the maternal nurturing. So once you're gathering people in a group, you're really wanting to facilitate healing. Look at you. You're really wanting to have the sacred conversations. You're really wanting to open the dialogue. And through opening that dialogue, what you find happens is that those people are then a sounding board and a point of reflection and witnessing for one another. So you're kind of harnessing the dynamic of the group to allow healing to flow through everyone that's involved. Let's feel into the third element and see what the pinnacle of this is for you. Okay. Ooh, okay, this one's tricky for you. Great. This will be good to talk into. So I hope that when I'm giving these live readings, or if you're here watching the replay, always my tribe see themselves reflected in others. So what I said before is we need to allow ourselves to behold our truth as it's reflected in other people's hearts. So for those of you hearing Natalie's reading, I want you to reflect on how much you resonate with this as well, because Natalie she does something beautiful and wonderful that can be a huge burden to you. So brace yourself, darling heart. I know that you are totally prepared to hear this, but you take a lot of responsibility to lead people and provide a positive example. Bless your heart. This is very typical of someone who is nurturing, who has that innate mothering tendency that many empaths have this. Basically, we can perceive the soul needs within others, and so obviously we're going to tend and offer those soul needs as much as we can. So for you, beautiful Natalie, you're really wanting to be able to provide for people, provide the love and the nurture that people need to heal and progress. So that's beautiful. One of the challenges here for you that you're already aware of, I know, is that sometimes you can put a little bit too much responsibility on your own shoulders. So big expectations, a lot of weight that you kind of can easily fall to that story that other people's progress is dependent on your own. So I'm just going to pause for a moment, just see how you're feeling, and just see how this is resonating for you, beautiful Natalie. For those of you who are watching, it's so nice to be able to understand that being who we are is essentially problematic. And I love laughing when I say that, because it's kind of like we can sometimes be on a quest where we think, if I just find out who I am, that embodying who I am, everything's going to get better. And it's not always the case, because being who we are will trigger the same people that it actually blesses. So, I still am very, very good with my boundaries and articulating my needs and not permitting anyone to be disrespectful for me. And it's really, really important to understand that you never get to a place where everyone loves you. And that's like an empath's childhood goal. Yeah. We're like, and when I grow up, I'm going to be such a loving, wonderful, beautiful person that everyone's going to love me. Tell me I'm not alone in this. Chime in if this is resonating for you. Yeah, and we tell ourselves, when I grow up, I'm going to have loving connections, and that's not always the case. So this is one of the challenges, that being who we are can come with downsides. And so for you, beautiful Natalie, if you ever feel too much pressure or expectation on yourself when you're wanting to lead these beautiful groups and facilitate healing and truly be of service to others, that's the one part that once again, I feel, to bring you back to the topic that I started this live session with, that we need to allow ourselves to behold the truth that we see in others for ourselves. And one of the things that I know you perceive in others is that they are innately worthy, that they are deeply lovable, and that they are so easy to nurture and care for. And I feel how much you feel like that towards these people that you're inclined towards, that you gather. And unfortunately, sometimes it feels like no one feels that way towards you. And so my loving invitation, if you want to, would be to allow yourself to behold yourself within them, to be able to see how lovable you are. So I send my big love and blessings. It's been so nice jumping in to do a live. I hope this has served and blessed you, Natalie. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions based on this reading. One of my tendencies is to go deep, Natalie. I don't really hold back. So this is good. I really want people to be able to see what an empath can do. That 12 years ago, I started perceiving the suffering in others. I had sharp pains in my belly. I had enormous, overwhelming feelings of everyone else's, what we deem negative emotions, despondency, depression, fear, neediness. I felt it within other people. And what I want to lovingly guide and invite anyone who resonates with the term empath is to recognize that, yes, we can feel the feelings within other people, but they actually are reflections of how we are or have felt. And often these are shadow feelings. These are neglected, outcast, abandoned feelings that we have disassociated from. And it's very, very important that, as our privileged position is here to witness, we don't get out of that role. But it's such a beautiful experience to be able to heal our own hearts based on what we perceive and see in others. So behold yourself, beautiful ones, within the hearts, within the inner worlds of those that you're blessed to serve and perceive. And Allow yourself to claim that reflection. Allow yourself to claim some of those feelings, experiences, woundings. And I know that you can transmute that. I know that it's our sacred privilege to be able to heal our own hearts so that we can offer a presence of love and compassion and divinity so that other people feel safe knowing that they too can unfold and unwind deeper into who they truly are. It's my birthday tomorrow. Lucy turning 35. 35. I can't believe I'm 35. I'm like a real adult now. But I will never commit to adulting. I'm really, really excited to be sharing my Divine Purpose book. So for those of you who are new to my work, you may know that my first book, Heart Healing, was a book that I released 4 years ago. So that was when I came out as a heart healer. I had been doing the work in secret, as many of us do initially. I was doing heart healing work in secret with the permission of my, thank you so much, beautiful. It's so nice to feel your love and your celebrations with me. And I wanted to be able to use my own life and share how I healed my own heart to underline the principles. So we all have a different context, different situation, but the underlying principles to emotional healing are exactly the same. For example, truth heals all wounds, and that's one of the chapters. Chapter 4 is that truth heals. You are with me, Natalie. 30s, I'm like, man, I'm 5 years from 40. I'm going to be one freaking hot, powerful 40-year-old. Yeah, that's what I say to myself. My good news is that for my birthday, I'm giving away my second book, which is called Divine Purpose. I've made it free on Kindle. I'm actually going to put up the link in the description as soon as I finish this live in a couple of minutes. But this book is really powerhouse. If you have been doing self-healing and you have recognized you're an empath and you have been healing some of your core wounds with your parents, with being a human, with being on the earth, okay, if you've done that, then you're ready for Divine Purpose. And this book is so powerful because it actually has 11 client stories. So each chapter is actually going through each chakra. So we start with third eye, and then we go throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, and then crown was how I felt to do the book. And for every chakra, there's a story that a client gave me sacred privilege to approve. They approved, and I've changed their name and their details, but I'm talking about how my clients healed their own hearts and healed one of these chakras. All of us fall before we rise, and we all want to avoid that, but it's unavoidable. What I love doing in my work is I love acknowledging how we fell and therefore how we can rise from, I talk about the ascent precedes the descent. So this book actually talks about the descent. If you've heard of Ishtar going into the underworld and then rising on the top, the book cover. So I will put the link in if you know anyone who is an empath that really wants to hear a bunch of stories of people who have healed their own hearts and risen back into their truth as highly sensitive empaths. You're going to love this book. Very deep. If you don't want to, if you want a nice fluffy read, this is not going to be for you. My books are provocative. They are almost confrontational to the point where I love sharing truth because I trust people with truth, and I trust them that if they know what to do, they then can do that. Awareness is about 90% of healing, and a lot of us don't actually know what to do to self-heal, and that's a part of my life work, is to use all of my own pain and suffering to actually make it faster, swifter, easier for other people to heal their own hearts. So I'll put the description for the free book. It's free on Kindle for the next 5 days. So if you do have a Kindle ebook reader, you can get it really easily. If you don't have a Kindle, you can actually download the Kindle app on your phone for free, and you can get it that way. That link will still work. So what a joy. Thank you so much. I don't know who else has been here on the live with us, but Desiree and Natalie, what an honor to serve you both. I really hope that the readings that I've offered are beneficial, are valuable, and support you to more fully accept and own the truth of who you are and invite you deeper into who you really are so that you can embody that and share that with everyone around you. Such an honor to talk about beholding ourselves within the hearts of others. It was kind of about 6 years of pain and struggle and suffering and wanting to avoid humanity until I could really claim the reflection. And now wherever I go, I'm in the role of sacred witnessing, only ever seeing myself. I love you, Lysa. I see you everywhere. And because I see myself everywhere, it allows me to more fully deepen into compassion and love for myself. And I hope I can invite you into this, because the pain of thinking we have to go through this life feeling everyone's pain and suffering, which is often the articles and the conversations that I hear from other leaders within this arena, and I just want to call it out and go, no, we do not have to face suffering for the rest of our lives. We can actually live with grace and compassion, with our hearts full of love, as we witness ourselves and extend that compassion to others. So I think that is our purpose. I hope that this has helped you all. I will be back to do another live probably in about 2 weeks, and I'd like to do them bi-weekly and pop in. So I'd love to hear if you have any questions from this. I'll pop back in and read them if you're watching the replay. And reach out to me if you would like to join my secret community, my support group for beautiful empaths, a place where they can feel safe to shine in their truth. My big love and blessings go out to you all. Thank you for being here with me today. Mwah.